you see me? Can you see me? Oh, oh good, okay. Welcome. Hi, my name is Angela Peterson. Thank you, board members and Superintendent James, for the opportunity to share my comments. I'm here tonight to request two specific policy adoptions for the district based on recent personal experiences. Number one, that no North Clackamas staff member ever take to media of any kind to accuse students of a suspected crime or suspected racially motivated behavior prior to a complete investigation of the event. Second, that no North Clackamas staff member ever invite students to view surveillance video in a suspected crime. The personal experience I'm referring to happened when, prior to any investigation, a subjective interpretation of the senior prank that happened on May 23rd at Clackamas High School prompted an almost 7-minute Instagram video to the official Cavs Instagram page the morning of May 24th, where it was alleged that the senior prank was racially motivated and was a hate crime. The Oregonian was contacted. Every local and several national news outlets picked up the story with the headline that a hate crime had happened at Clackamas High School. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Department was eventually contacted, and after viewing all of their evidence, it was determined that no hate crime had ever occurred. In the midst of this discovery, those in leadership invited particular students to view a surveillance video of the senior prank to assist in identifying students involved. This act alone violated privacy laws and resulted in the falsely accused students' names being spread throughout the community while adding false speculation and horribly damaging lies of what actually happened. The students who were singled out were guilty of one act, and that was for the act of placing a Trump sticker on the window of the school. This decision was immature and made a mess for the custodial staff, for which they apologized and did 3 hours of community service. But never did it occur to them that anyone would view this as racist or hateful. These students ended up receiving hundreds of terrifying graphic death threats. Their names, addresses, and future colleges were shared across every social media platform. Many letters were sent to their prospective colleges to keep them from being admitted. Their graduation celebration was completely overshadowed by a disruptive protest. We contacted the Portland police to request extra patrols at the ceremony because of the death threats. Racism and hate crimes are abhorrent, and had there been a hate crime, all of these students and their families would be equally outraged. We have always and will stand in solidarity with others against racism. We count on our leaders to make statements and decisions based on facts rather than opinions and emotions. Please protect the future students and community from experiencing this kind of trauma by adopting the policies I suggested. Thank you so much.
Angela, I think you are right on time. Is that right, Gina? Yeah, hold it up just a little higher. Next is Tara Nelson. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sandra?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, Tara Nelson would be our next speaker. Thank you. Go ahead, Tara. Welcome.
Greetings, my name is Tara Nelson and I'm a parent of 2 children in the school district. I want to talk about 2 things, one being meetings governing body open public. That's part of ORS 192.630 4 little a capital B. Open public, the meetings shall be held at the administrative headquarters of the public building. When that effort isn't made, it showcases barriers to the public. An example, the American flag and Pledge of Allegiance. The U.S. flag is in every government building and every classroom because it belongs there. If you're going to school in the USA and you are a citizen, it is to remind you that you are part of this country. Many people have died under that flag, providing us with the rights that we have today. Grievously, soldiers today, may peace be with their families. I ask that you consider modifying protocols and tools to include the Pledge of Allegiance regularly. It is a remedy for today's decisive times. This would be one step in constantly reaffirming our unity and community while demonstrating that while we may all differ in political details, we love the same country. Supporting the pledges place in a public decorum. We have so few opportunities to publicly demonstrate our unity as a nation. The second thing is about masks. It appears that most of Oregon school boards have decided that our kids should go to school every day wearing muzzles. I have listened to the arguments and have found that the arguments are lacking evidence, data, facts, and human decency. The truth is, COVID poses almost no risk at all to our kids. A total of 4.2 million children have tested positive for COVID, and only a total of 0.0006 of them have died. What about the flu? The CDC estimates that 480 kids died from the flu in 2018-19 season. That's more than half that have died in the year and a half of COVID. Did anyone suggest during those years to wear masks? Do you realize the psychological damage that is done to children by forcing them to cover their faces, teaching them that the air is toxic and that everyone around them is sick? Have you considered the health damage it causes children when they're forced to breathe wet, snotty, spit-soaked rags on their face every single day? What about the children learning to read when they can't even see their teacher enunciating words? When a child has a hard time breathing, it does cause anxiety and makes it hard for children to concentrate and learn. Oregon ranks 5th from the bottom of nationality in academics. That's disgraceful. That means Oregon's children have fallen below grade level, especially during this last year with online learning. Children have a lot of catching up to do. When a child has a hard time breathing, it does cause anxiety. Apologize. The ORS 339.288 flat out prohibits anything that puts pressure on a child's mouth, and also prohibits any type of medical restraints on children's mouths and makes it hard for them to breathe. A mask should be a choice. Every parent should be able to make that choice for their child. The governor's mandate is absurd. As a district, you have that authority from her to make those decisions. Our parents, we are fed up. Let's go back to reading, writing, math, and true history. We need to get and maintain our kids in school 5 days a week, full time, without masks. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tara.
Was I at 30 minutes or did she find me?
Is there anybody else? Sorry. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
You are Melanie Taylor. You just have a different last name.
Yeah. Yeah. My name is Melanie Taylor. I have children in the North Clackamas School District, and I'm here to speak about the current application of CSC within the district. I believe that it's important to team up with the parents and of the students. I'd like to share my experience over the last 2 years. My daughter, over my daughter's 7th and 8th grade year, there were some alarming moments, and I'd like to go over them. Rock Creek Middle School would give health for 1 semester. She had this class on the second half of the year. I'm unsure why, but the teacher chose to wait to the last 2 classes to go over the mechanics of sex and the ways to protect themselves against STDs. My daughter learned at 12 years old the difference between oral, vaginal, and anal sex. They taught them about how to use a condom and a dental dam. If you're unsure what a dental dam is, ask a 12-year-old, because that's what they were taught. They taught what I call the mechanics of having sex in all ways. I was appalled that they did this right before the release of summer. Do you know what they didn't teach? No means no. Or ask permission before you touch somebody else. And when we called to inquire about this, we were told that they had to wait a full school year until the 8th grade to cover no means no and ask for permission. So now these kids have gone out for summer vacation to possibly experiment and not given all the tools. Just the act of having sex safely. There's also the abstinence is the safest to avoid pregnancy, to avoid STDs, but she wasn't taught that either. Or that sex is involving with emotions and what that means for responsibility, or the ability for parents to be involved and to say, hey, you know what, you went over the act of sex. can we sit down and have this discussion, or any of the subjects that they go over, whether it's, you know, the gender choice, the act of having sex itself. I did not understand why they waited until the following year to say no means no. And why wait to the last couple days of class to dump the information on the kids right before summer vacation? Is this something that was done to dump on the kids within a couple of days to avoid the ability, or have the parents' ability to opt out? I implore, request with the school board to work with the parents to have the links available, because when we requested the links from the school, the links didn't actually work. We talked with the principal, and every time we would click the button, it wouldn't work. So if there's a way that maybe to incorporate the parents, their beliefs, because we would like to have a choice. We'd like to teach them our values as well as whatever the school or the state of Oregon is saying to teach the kids. And we'd like to work with the teachers. So I just would love to have a syllabus maybe given, and the ability to opt out of it or opt into it. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Melanie. Okay, next on, thank you all for your input.
Good job.
Next on our agenda is
Tara, who would be next? No, for us. It's scary. It's difficult. We have Colleen here, Steve, and then we have
So, good evening, Board of Directors, and to others who are watching this evening. Our staff is working very hard to prepare for the opening of schools.
Can we take it off speaker?
Back into our building. And while I still know that there are meetings out there, I would like to
Do any of you ladies want to speak out loud to us? Or give us any information?
Yeah, we will. Why are you? This isn't going to this. No, okay. Yeah, I would like to share with you why Janet and I came tonight. For 4 years, Janet and I have been working with an organization called Parents' Rights in Education. And please go on the website and check out all of the information. I mean, every topic you could imagine that's ugly in the schools, we've been working and researching and trying to connect with people. This last fall, I became a PCP thanks to my dear darling son, who told me, Mom, this is what you need to do. And I went and talked with our East Clackamas County Republican women, or the chair of the Republican Party, and we talked about our school boards and our school districts and what's going on. And she agreed that she was going to invite the PCPs throughout Clackamas County to come to a meeting regarding school boards, school board nominations and committee members, and let's get the people together and brainstorm if we can get some candidates to help out. Well, at the same time, I was helping my daughter-in-law, Sherry Smith, in Canby to run, and we had a connection with some other very conservative women who were willing to run. And so we worked, while I worked on their campaign, I also worked on East Clackamas County, all of Clackamas County, actually. Most of you met Patrick Sheehan at one time or another. Basically, we were told kind of hands off of North Clackamas County because he was working with you guys. But I think we had better results and maybe a little different approach. And we had a lot of luck in Malala. We had a lot of luck in Oregon City. We had a lot of luck in getting the one more conservative in Estacada, who ended up losing the race, but with chasing the votes, won by 1 vote. We had some luck, a little bit of luck in West Lynn.
Kelly Sloop.
Wilsonville, and we had a little bit of luck with, let's see, what else? Colton. So but there's some districts that seem to be a bit hopeless, but I'm not saying helpless.
Yeah.
So we have help, and if we can do for those counties and school districts is what I should do within our county, what I should say within our county, what we did with the ones I just mentioned, I think we've got something positive to bring to you. We heard about the rally tonight thanks to May, who was at a meeting the other night, because Janet and I have been asked to co-chair through the East Clackamas County Republican Party, now becoming the working with the Oregon Federation of Women, Republican Women, an education committee. And our focus is on school boards. So we're going to take what we've been doing through those groups to the state and see if maybe we can move some of this conservative movement into more school boards. I think my son, I was just telling you about my son tonight, he and his wife Sherry Smith did everything right, so I've got all of that in my head to help you with what they did. They didn't have to spend a lot of money because there was some grant money by actually you can look this up, the Oregon Firearms Federation gave them each a little bit of money, and they were willing to spend a little bit. Smaller districts, of course, don't have to spend quite the same amount of money as bigger districts, but that doesn't mean anything because everybody has to spend money. And what we want to do is focus on where is the money coming from if it's all this big money, because that has to be reported and that can be announced to the world. So there are a lot of things that we want to do. I want to turn this district red. And with people like you guys who are out there doing these things, where's the gentleman who ran? Right here. We can do it, but what we've got to do is we've got to find out who's going to be running, come together as a minds, and maybe work a little differently than we did last year. So Janet and I are committed to helping you guys. I'm coming here and finding, I know we're both coming here and finding all of this incredible interest. And this group right now can grow to 40 next time. And it can grow to 100 the time after that. We cannot stop now. They haven't stopped for 40 years. When I moved to Oregon 4 years ago and found out what my grandkids were going to soon be learning and can be if we didn't stop it, I was appalled. And that's why I got involved in the Parents' Rights in Education group, which is really more of an educational group. And what we're doing is taking ourselves on to the into the communities and on the road to help people out. So we're hoping, I know you're going to take down names and numbers. We're going to let you know what we're doing. September 7th, we are going to have a huge meeting. I think we're going to have 40, 50, 60 people there in Oregon City at the Museum of the Territories. They're on Tumwater, right off of Highway 99. And they have opened that building to us because they believe in the same principles that we do, for free. And we're going to start meeting there once a month to figure out what's going on, get you guys rocking and rolling so we can go on to other school districts and work with lots of people. We have someone I just met the other night through the Federation of Republican Women in East Clackamas County, and let's take this and take them by storm and they won't know what hit them.
What are some other things you think that we could do right now, to kind of get more parents involved,
Well, do you realize when the next election is?
No.
May of 2022. I mean, it is around the corner. Okay, we started late last time. We feel by November we need to know who our candidates are. And by December we need to start the plan. And January we need to be, really getting this stuff out. So we're not all doing it at the last minute.
Yeah.
So right now we need to get our candidates, think about them. I talked to somebody at my church this last week who's going to run in Canby. And the other thing is make sure they really have your values. Sometimes you're going to find out that some of the people maybe of the same thought process that you might have really don't have the same values, and that is going to hurt. So we have to vet these people very carefully.
What I might suggest is you have people that are kind of like your group or whatever, get out to the places, people in the community that have American flags in their thing, and ask them, you guys want to come out to this thing here? Something like that. Go door to door and everything. Just one way to kind of get people to focus on the current events. I mean, it's great to focus on 2022, but when they're going to push this stuff on, when does school start? It's coming up pretty quick. We need to kind of get more people involved. Like you say, 100 people here next week. Facebook's one way to do it, but there's another way to do it.
I still have the canvassing list.
Good suggestion. Good suggestion. Yes. So, and remember, there's strength in numbers. This is awesome to see, but we need to keep increasing and increasing because there is strength in numbers. So Colleen and I have been doing this for 4 years. It used to be the sexuality education, but now CRT and masks have come to the forefront. Vaccine, we don't know where that's going. So we need to stay strong and never give up and never give in. So it's great to see you guys here. I'm Janet, that's Colleen, and we speak at different. I speak at school board meetings all over Westland, Wilsonville.
We've actually been to Redmond and spoke there to the Republican Party, a contingency there, and we had LGBT and Antifa outside the door. There was only about 10 of them, and there was about 30 of us, so we were in the majority, but we're not afraid.
No.
That doesn't mean we don't have fear in our souls, but we don't look like we're afraid.
And we don't back down.
Yeah.
They want us to back down. We don't back down. So we're
discouraged us from showing up here tonight.
well,
They're
it's
like,
our pleasure.
It's fine to be online, and it's like, no, it's not okay to be online.
You're right.
That's how they keep us silent.
Yeah, it's exactly
You're
how
right.
they keep us silent.
You're so right.
You couldn't see the rest of the board.
Yeah, it's more
Interesting.
More
Angela,
people
you're-
are willing to speak if they open the public forum. You know, I
Yes.
think it's essential.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, online alone is just ridiculous.
But
Just
what
like-
I want to acknowledge you guys, you were very, very to the point. You said what you said was great tonight, and you were respectful. And that, as much as I hate to be respectful sometimes, they do have the authority and can kick us out of the building. So we can be tough in our words, we can be tough in our speech, but we need to also be tough and respectful, so we don't get kicked out like we did Westland, Wilsonville.
Yeah, that just makes people that already don't care for us, it justifies them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You notice how the
You're
leftists
right.
and everything, the first thing they say when they give their speech is, thank you so much, school board, for what you're doing. We really appreciate all the great stuff you're doing. You know, we don't have to go to that level, but we, you know, like to say, show respect,
point.
say, thank you for letting us be here. Thank you. We respect you and running for the school board.
We
But
thank you for your hard work. We don't agree with the work you do, but thank
We
you
don't
for
say
the hard
that,
work.
but and you know what? And I used to start all of my public comments that way. But when you're only allowed 2 and 3 minutes, I really cut that part back because I had a point to make, and I wanted my point to be heard.
We also, if you have a hard time putting words into a speech, we have ideas for you, and we've gotten those through different connections and speaking as much as we have. So we'll give you some ideas and a whole speech if you want it. I don't care if the whole world
Well,
hears this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
I
so
would say
much.
volunteer to be a precinct committee person for your county. We need Republican strength.
Thank
And
you.
there's not a big commitment. You go to a meeting maybe once a month, but there's wonderful committees you can get on, election integrity, voter registration. You know, we need you guys.
Yeah.
We may be doing
So you're looking
canvassing.
for PCPs?
Yes,
Right?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so
Oh, yes.
I was looking into doing that. Okay, don't be upset with me, but I am actually still a registered Democrat.
Okay, time to change that.
Here we go.
And so I'm a walk
Bless your
away.
heart.
But I've
There
been
you go. Walk
I've
away.
been-
Good.
You might get elected and then you can stop.
Well, you know, that's
one way to look at
does
it.
not always work because Republicans may not have heard that. You don't get endorsed by like the Oregon Right to Life. You don't get endorsed by the Republican Party. And so you might be losing more votes than you actually would be gaining.
So I
change
just
your
wanted,
party.
I am, and I read in the rules that you
Yes.
have to be a registered Republican for 180 days before becoming
Yeah,
a PCP.
yeah.
So I need to do that tomorrow.
And you're not
Do it
alone in
tomorrow.
being a walk away.
Yeah, all right,
We
right.
love walkaways.
Yes. Yes. So I want to say, you guys are very blessed here in Clackamas County. I'm Washington County, and let me tell you, it's looking really dim there. There's a lot of hope here in Clackamas County. I still speak in Washington County. I speak in Marion County, in Salem. I speak all over, but I like what I see in Clackamas County. You guys are doing a great job.
So anytime we can help you, please get a hold of us. You've got my name and number. Melanie has my name and number wherever you went. May has my name and number. So Janet too, we're happy to work with you. That's what we want to do. I have a calling to do this. I don't know for how long, but I have a calling and I'm here to help.
So neat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
And that's what you can see. We're passionate about what we do. So remember September 8th. That's going to be a very important
September
meeting.
7th.
Oh, September 7th.
Tuesday night at the museum. We're going to start putting people in groups. We're going to start hopefully connecting with you each once a month, just your group, not this whole county-wise, because we've got to grow this. And now May is right around the corner.
Yes.
Ironically, September 7th, a guy in Vegas started a huge group who said it's going to be calling your work sick day.
It's what?
Calling your work sick day. Stop your work.
calling your
North
work.
America. He's pushing for it. I don't know if he's going to make it.
Wonder if it'll get any traction.
It's not thousands.
Well, you know, people are fed up. You're fed up. We're fed up. People are fed up. Parents are fed up. And so because of that, people are speaking out. I think COVID worked a good way in that respect. Parents were able to see what was being taught to their children. And wow, what a shock.
So your job now, between now and September 7th, is to find one person who will come to the meeting with you. 2 people is even better. 3 is even better. But everybody here, if you can bring one, look at what's going to happen to North Clackamas County.
Yeah, well, you saw the turnout at the Clackamas Commissioners, didn't you? I mean, that was amazing.
fantastic.
Awesome.
Yes. I mean, I couldn't get in. The only way I got in was like, I mean,
And I was taking names and
I did
emails
get
and phone
in.
numbers
I did.
outside. So we put it to work, like we are putting you guys to work, to let us know and to be there on September 7th, 7
Okay.
p.m.
That's the other thing that people can do is get everybody's email and everything that's running for Congress or that's in Congress, and just let them know. It's a simple thing you can do. You don't have to. This will be at your keyboard and everything. Say Schrader, get to work, or whoever is the congressman here. And everybody loves doing flag waves, and I do a Canby flag wave myself. But we need to kind of get more involved out there, not just kind of be behind our keyboards all day long.
That's right.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to us.
So God bless you guys. You're doing a good job. Keep up the good work.